There was a lot to see at the D23 Expo this year, but one of the most fascinating aspects of this convention is what we didn't see. Stick around to hear more. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. The D23 Expo was a fascinating example of a company lighting itself on fire and jumping off a cliff. Disney activated its self-destruct mode with a series of horrible movie trailers and theme park announcements that spell the end of Walt Disney World as we know it. There were also some bright spots like a respectable Moana trailer, a fantastic-looking Daredevil trailer, and some encouraging Toy Story news. We saw a lot, but one of the more interesting aspects of the event was what we didn't see, or more accurately, who we didn't see, namely disgraced pariah head of Lucasfilm Kathleen Kennedy, who was the only Disney studio head not prominently featured at the convention. So does that mean Kathy's personally done appearing before the fans? Is Disney intentionally hiding her? Kevin Apollo and I are going to dissect what this could mean today on Tooney Town TV. So, D23, very controversial weekend, and the one person I trust enough to join me for such a topic, the one and only American way, Kevin Apollo. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
What's going on, my brother?
Well, it's a lot. This is going to be a busy week for us with all of the self-destructive nonsense that went down at the D23 Expo, from the movies to the parks to just every experience except for the cruise line just being completely dive bombed by incompetence. But today we're going to talk about not what they showed, but what they didn't show, because this was a little interesting here.
Let me do it. Where in the world is Kathleen Kennedy?
Exactly. So what we're talking about here, folks, is the fact that Kathleen Kennedy, the Wicked Witch of Lucasfilm herself, was not present at D23, or so we thought, because Kevin Apollo, she was there. She was present at the convention. We have confirmation. Hold on, let me, this comes from Nerdrific on X. Kathleen Kennedy and Harrison Ford introduced John Williams to get his Disney Legends Award. Then a symphony performed his greatest Star Wars hit, Indiana Jones hits, and Stormtroopers were there. So Kathleen Kennedy was there right next to Captain Grumpy Pants himself, Harrison Ford.
King Curmudgeon himself.
Yes, King Curmudgeon and Queen never mind. The
Demonetization in 5, 4, 3.
Yeah, you have Edie from Mass Effect. You shouldn't do that, Shepard. No, but the good Lord. So she was there, and now I want to show you this pictures. And then this was during the Disney Parks panel. They did a whole Fortnite presentation, and they brought out the heads of the various studios. So there's Josh D'Amaro, the absolute blockhead head of Disney Parks, on the right. And next to him, on the left side of our left side, his right side, Jennifer Lee, the chief creative officer of the Walt Disney Animation. Then that's Pete Docter, the head of Pixar. Then Dave Filoni and Kevin Feige. So conspicuous by her, you have all the studio heads up here, but instead, except for Lucasfilm, instead of Kathleen Kennedy being up there, we throw Dave Filoni, Captain Cuck himself, Dave Filoni.
He's the Patsy.
Sans cowboy hat, but yeah, he is. Dave Filoni is 100%. Dave Filoni is there to soak up all the hate, to take the L's and all the failures. It wasn't Kathy, folks. It was this white guy.
In a few years, we'll have Jesse Ventura going, Filoni was a terrible director. He could have put these movies together.
Jesse Ventura, just the mouthpiece for all whacked out conspiracy theories. No, you're 100% right. So Dave Filoni, clearly a patsy. They pinned a lot of the Acolyte on him, and that's what he's there for. And we know Dave Filoni is that's a cat's butthole. All right, we know that Dave Filoni is the cat's like, you will look at it, world. We know that Filoni is capable of great Star Wars stories. We saw it with the Clone Wars. We saw it with Rebels. We've even seen his prowess on Avatar: The Last Airbender, arguably the greatest American original cartoon series of all time. However, we have not seen good things from him lately. Ahsoka was garbage. The Acolyte was garbage, and he had a hand in that. So, the Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 were great, but it seems like a lot of that was Favreau. I think Dave is just kind of saying whatever he has to say to keep his job.
Just surviving, brother. Get that
Yeah.
check.
Did you notice something about Dave here though?
His,
You
his,
notice you notice what's missing?
his cowboy hat and
No
his
cowboy
dignity.
hat. Meanwhile, Baldy over there on the other side is wearing his trademark baseball cap, but we're getting a more grown up Dave Filoni, I guess. He's no longer the space cowboy that we have all come to know and hate.
I,
Uh,
I don't hate Dave. I'm just very disappointed.
yes, because we know Dave knows better, and we know that Dave is capable of more. But the story here, Kathleen Kennedy should have been the one up there, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
you've got all the studio heads up there and Dave Filoni,
Well,
and that.
I'll say, especially in this era of diversity and inclusion, it's
Right. There's
a little
only
too
one woman
toxic
up
up there on
there.
that stage.
There's a whole lot of whiteness up there. I don't know what Josh DeMaro is. He's kind of more of a smoky caramel, but the the others, that's a whole lot of white male up there. So I think, and tell me if you think I'm on the right track here, Kev. Kathleen Kennedy did not go up on that stage because if she appeared before this live crowd, there was a very good chance she was going to get booed out of the building.
She's gonna boot out of the building, or she was gonna say something stupid, and or announce a whole bunch of new movies that are not gonna come out.
You can't put a camera in front of her without her announcing movies that don't exist. Um, no, and then we've also gotten word recently that she I was on the panel with Pro when Chris Gore said that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to retire but was waiting on a big win to do so. And now the big win certainly wouldn't have come from the D23 Expo. We saw it now. The D23 Expo, these are the pixie dusters of the pixie dusters. These are the cupcake collecting, backpack having shills for Disney. So it's very rare. Like Bob Iger got a hero's reception when he came out for the Disney Studios panel, and Josh DeMaro got a big, screaming reception. However, a couple years ago, Bob Chapek did get booed at D23. So it is known to happen. And I think do you think Kathleen Kennedy didn't want to go out there, or do you think that Disney is purposely hiding her because her name is synonymous with death at this point?
I think someone probably told her to sit this one out. Again, she's a creature of ego, so if
Mm-hmm.
she's not gonna, you can't send her out there and not have her want to immediately consume the spotlight. And right now, we're trying to lay low. The best thing you do with Star Wars is do nothing with Star Wars, and she can't help herself. So, Kathy, go sit in the back and go menace an intern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have all heard the rumors for years. Oh, she's getting fired. There's a Lucasfilm Civil War, the Five Horsemen of the Bob Apocalypse. They're getting rid of her, but they've never gotten rid of her. Now, the one thing that we've heard is that potentially her contract is up in October. They may choose not to renew, but she must know where all the bodies are buried
All of them.
because no one could possibly be as bad at their job as she is at running Lucasfilm and still keep their job. Yes, the sequel trilogy made money. The first very safe movie made a gajillion dollars, but then after that, The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, yes, they made money, but diminishing returns. That was the last thing she did that made money. Then
There's
you had
no,
you had Solo between episodes 8 and 9, and that first Star Wars movie ever to lose money. She tanked Willow. Indiana Jones is one of the biggest box office flops of all time, not just of Lucasfilm or Disney, of all time. A $300 million movie that made nothing, all because she had to Phoebe Waller-Bridge herself into a corner there. Now, Kev, what were you about to say?
I'll say her victories, as few and far between as they are all Pyrrhic. The sequel trilogy made money, but on the other side of it, didn't sell any merchandise.
Nope.
It repelled fans. It shattered the iron foundation that was Star Wars fandom into a jillion pieces. Fine, she got Rogue One.
The most evergreen property on the face of the planet.
Ever.
Star Wars
Ever.
I never thought I'd see the day where Hasbro would go bankrupt because they got the Star Wars. I don't know if they went bankrupt, but they are hurting bad. Like, they're
They're
liquidating
hurting,
the
man.
Power Rangers. I mean, that company is in a bad way right now because they got the Star Wars. They spent all this money to get the Star Wars license for toys, and it's tanking them because nobody wants these toys.
Nope. The let's see, we don't actually know how much Rogue One actually cost
No.
because we know there's 3 versions of that movie. The again, Indy was just an abysmal waste of time.
With
Willow,
multiple reshoots
you know,
because,
yeah,
apparently it was so much worse.
the Willow, like, and again, like Lucasfilms itself, Lucasfilms proper, what IPs do they have left? She killed
They
them
don't
all.
have they don't
They
have
don't have
any.
anything
Star
left.
Wars is dead, Willow is dead, Indiana Jones is dead. I don't know, maybe revive what was the Secret of Monkey Island, a Lucasfilm game? Like, I don't know.
Well,
They
even and
got nothing else,
the games come. We haven't seen well, I guess other than Jedi Survivor, but
which is
every
good.
other,
The
yeah,
Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order are very good games. Now we're about to see we're about to see Star Wars Outlaws come out this month, and that's going to be abysmal.
I would say so. Pretty much every Star Wars game that's come out, with the exception of 2, it's been, massively divisive, and has bombed. So it's incredible. We've watched this woman oversee the implosion. She took the evergreen forest and burned it to ashes, and no one, for some strange reason, wants to tell her to go home.
Now, have you seen the Skeleton Crew trailer that played at D23?
I did, and I was like, okay, cute kids.
If
Dave's
that
a little
wasn't
baby.
Yeah,
Uh,
if it wasn't a Star Wars property, I'd be like, this looks like a fun sci-fi adventure. But it's
mhm.
Star Wars, and it's not Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. And I guess, poor Jude Law can't
I
get
know.
can't get
Can't get a
anything
break.
that anybody's going to enjoy, even though he's a
Ugh.
fantastic actor. The
The poor
I
guy
just
he keeps getting into these big franchises, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and he gets in, and the franchise tanks for no fault of his own. He was a respectable Dumbledore. It's just that those Fantastic Beasts movies were awful.
the so well, listen, I'll give it a shot, and if it means that we all have to take a spoonful of sugar to make this medicine go down and give her a standing O if it helps her go out the door, I will be first in line, clapping as hard as I can.
You're stunning and brave, Kathy. Enjoy your Viking funeral. Like, good Lord. All
That's right.
right. So, folks,
I'll be Rock at the end of Rudy. Little,
folks,
my little hat on.
absolutely. Folks, we want to know what you think. Did Disney intentionally hide Kathleen Kennedy? Does Kathleen Kennedy just not want to appear in front of fans? What's going on with Kathleen Kennedy? Sound off in the comments and let us know. The Kathleen Kennedy reign of a Lucasfilm will go down in history as one of the most destructive failures in the history of American cinema. This woman tanked the most evergreen property on the planet and created a new world in which people are completely apathetic to Star Wars. And really, that's just pathetic. Whether it was Kathy's decision to keep her involvement centered around the Disney Legends panel, or someone in the Disney C-suite made the decision to keep her away from fans who could potentially boo her out of the building, I'm just glad we didn't have to see her face or hear her talk. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you'll join us for more discussion on this and many other topics Thursday nights at 8 p.m. for Tooney Talk TV. It's a live stream pop culture podcast, and it's a fantastic way to make your voice heard as a part of the Tooney Town community. I also hope you'll subscribe over at Tooney Town Wrestling, our pro wrestling channel, and That Game Place, the That Pog Place video game channel where I'm a regular host. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. From all of us here at the Tooney Town Networks, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!